like Cinderella teens. You should see the things I fit inside these denim jeans. I can't associate with y'all, this shit like ketamine. Been on one, been on two, been on everything. Bitch, I'm with my gang, with my squad, what the fuck you want? Soapy rolling gas, I can't hang, bitch, I'm fucking gone. I got people down from the jump, better know your bonds. I got people just tuning in, and the love is strong. Damn, they gon' want a piece when you got it like that. Like Jake said, we gon' spend it, get it right back. Stack that internet money to the site crash. They on IG tryna get a like back. See, they don't talk that talk, they just type fast. Yeah, we real life cool, it's really like that. I might roll an eighth inside the blunt, that's a nightcap. Like where my lighter at, boy, I got a flight to cash. Through these ups and these downs, swear to God, ain't a dead thing changed. Don't forget where that sauce came from, best remember my name. You take L's every once in a while, gotta charge to the game. You gotta charge it to the game. Yeah, yeah. Through these ups and these downs, swear to God, ain't a dead thing changed. Don't forget where that sauce came from, best remember my name. Ooh. I'm just tryna make my bread and feed the fam. These fuckboys need to grow up like Peter Pan. Sometimes I get so high, I never land. Ain't no need to overthink it, I already understand. They be plotting on my downfall and need another plan. But we welcome all that hating, I'm like, thank you, come again. Made a stack off the game and gave 100 to my man. I don't owe no money to him, I just did it cause I can. Yeah, round shit, we ain't on no clown shit. You a product of the people that you stick around with. Don't get caught up in the evil, that'll have you down bad. Ain't no way around that, you gon' need a bounce back. Yeah, posted up with the people I came up with. Charge a couple else in the game, but I still love it. I keep it low key in order to stay above it.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that last video that I made. This is actually the day after that I edited and uploaded that video. Today's video is gonna be a little different. It's still car stuff, it's nothing different, just a different car. I'm pretty sure if you guys are in tune, you know what's going on with Florida right now. I'm in Palm Beach, so luckily I'm not in one of the areas that's directly affected. But we still have some pretty crappy weather. It's pretty dark out here, there's a lot of heavy wind expected, and then as you can see, my car has a bunch of leaves and a bunch of stuff in it. This morning at 4 in the morning, it was raining and thundering really bad, so I actually went ahead and pushed it as close as I could into here, so that way if like anything decides to come from that way or from this way, the car is pretty protected by this palm tree and over here by this wall and the neighbor's fence. And then if anything does come up behind it, I mean, hey, it is what it is. The Saturn's gonna have to take the hit. It's gonna have to take one for the team. But yeah, things are pretty wild out here. I'm pretty sure y'all seen that B-roll that I just filmed, and it's pretty much introducing the other car that I have that we're gonna be working on. And I'm pretty sure, as you can guess from the B-roll, it's a Nissan, it's a Maxima. If you're into Maximas and stuff like that, it's an 833 chassis, 5th gen. Also my favorite Max. A lot of people prefer the 4th gens because they tend to be lighter, they tend to be the better one, and they tend to be the better one in terms of like, if you were to put 3.5s in both of them, or if you were to have the same motor in both of them, usually the 832 chassis will get ahead. I'm not like that. If I was worried about what chassis I wanted and who was going to be lighter, I wouldn't have an Integra with a sunroof. A lot of people do the Type R clones and stuff like that. They get the RSs that don't have the sunroofs and whatnot because they're a lot lighter. I don't really care. I just like to drive my cars. I like them to come with all the amenities and everything. So my Max is the same exact way. Funny story, actually. So the way that this car actually came to me was through a friend. You guys all know him, Shane. Toe Strap Garage, go check out his channel. And when I got this car off him, he's been into Maximas for a really long time. And I always had a respect for these cars, especially when I was younger. And there used to be a lot of street races and stuff going on here in West Palm. I think I was probably like 15 or 16 when I started seeing some of these Maximas showing up at some of the meets. This thing's interior's pretty beat up. My sister used to drive it, so you can see there's a bunch of soda stains and stuff in here. I mean, they were just like hella neglectful with it. And not only were they neglectful with it, but you know, it's also an old car. I mean, this right here is from heat and just from use and stuff like that. There's a few SEs at the junkyard with black interior that I would love to get the interior from and do like a whole black interior swap into this thing, but it's not really a priority right now. I might start doing that like little by little. Sitting on some TSWs that I picked up from some guy. As you can see, the tires bald, it needs tires, but I just got a whole bunch of new suspension stuff that I gotta put on it before we put tires on it. And windshield's cracked. We used to have a big tree right here. They used to constantly be dropping branches and stuff, and unfortunately one day this Max was under it and it caught a branch to the windshield and to the fender, and it messed up the hood a little bit. Right here. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see there's like a dent right there. Bent it in a little bit. But so this thing does have the 3.0 in it. It does have the mess that everybody is afraid of messing with, which is all this stuff up here. It's a bunch of vacuum lines and a bunch of crazy stuff. It's got a really bad valve cover leak, as you can see there. Really bad valve cover leak. The timing cover is also leaking really badly, and I'm not 100% sure, but I believe I changed this out before. I think it's already leaking again. But the thing drives like a dream. So one thing about these Maximas is if you take care of them and you do the necessary maintenance work, not saying that I do it all, they do last. But anyways, like I was saying, the way that I got this car was because my buddy Shane, he used to be into Maximas. He used to have an i30. I remember he did the 5-speed swap on that, or 6-speed. I don't know. He converted it to manual, and eventually that car ended up getting a rod knock. He ended up selling the shell. He had a 3.5 for it that he was going to put in there. Ended up selling that, and then he ended up getting a blue Maxima that had the 3.5 in it. Ended up starving for oil. Got locked up on the highway. And what ended up happening with that is he ended up selling it basically as a shell. I mean, it had the 3.5 in it, but it wasn't really worth anything. And I can't remember who exactly got this car, but I remember, if I remember correctly, he was supposed to drive an Altima. His brother was supposed to drive a Maxima. I think he ended up driving this Maxima. His brother ended up with the Altima. And later on down the line, his aunt had a very clean, I think it was a 2003 i35 with just 100,000 miles. So she said that she was gonna go get a new Maxima. I think it's like a 8th gen or 9th gen or something like that, one of the newer ones. It's like a 2017, I believe. And they wouldn't take the i35 as trade-in because of how old it was. They were only willing to give her like a $500 credit, and then they were just gonna junk it. He ended up taking that, and then he was gonna junk this, and he ended up, I went by, he told me that he was gonna junk it, and I was like, no, hell no, you're not. So I told him, I said, if they're giving her a $500 credit, I'll give you $500 for this one, and I'll take it home. And I drove it home. And that was, I mean, 5-6 years ago, I wanna say, maybe somewhere around there. He told me the only thing the car had was one of the transmission lines was leaking, and it needed a new control arm. The control arms on these things always go out because they always end up leaking oil, or they end up leaking power steering fluid. People don't maintain them, so the bushings end up going to crap. And I mean, it is what it is. So I ended up doing the control arms. The transmission fluid leak ended up being a, what he did was he did a mod to this thing. So I don't know if you can see, but if you notice, there is, right here, there's a separate cooler with 2 lines running over this way, and they go to the transmission. So apparently one of the things with these cars is the transmissions would never really hold up too well because, I mean, they would overheat. They didn't have proper cooling. I guess the cooler that's in the radiator isn't enough. So he ended up putting that extra cooler, which helped the transmission last longer. The issue ended up being that one of those hoses was loose. Tightened it up, leak went away, leak was solved. And after that, I swapped the control arms, and this car gave me a lot of very good years. I mean, now it just kind of sits here as a backup. My dad uses it here and there, but as you can see, you got mold and everything building up in the fenders. I mean, the car's just sitting. It's not being used. Look at that. There's mold under the plastic. There's all types of crazy stuff in here. And my dad keeps up with the oil. He does the oil changes. You know, he checks the radiator, makes sure that it has coolant and stuff like that in there. And the car has almost 300,000 miles. 300,000 miles, and I feel like it's got a lot left to give. So what we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna end up we actually went to the junkyard and we found us an anniversary edition Maxima that had the full 5-speed swap. So we ended up taking the full 5-speed conversion minus the brake pedal, because on these you can sometimes just cut the brake pedal and that's enough. So we took the clutch pedal, we took the engine harness, we took the transmission, we took the flywheel bolts. There's a spacer that goes on the flywheel. You'll see it later on in this video, and you'll see all the shenanigans and stuff that we were doing at the junkyard. And yeah, every time we go to the junkyard, it's always a good time. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on with the video, and I hope you enjoy that B-roll. And yeah, the next time you'll be seeing this car, it's probably gonna be getting torn down, and it's gonna be being converted to 5-speed. I also don't know if I want to do a 3.5 swap. If I do, it will probably be an HR swap. I'm not sure. If I do a 3.5 swap, I'm gonna do the 3.0 timing. That way I can keep that computer that I got from the junkyard. I don't want to see with my cars, I don't do anything too crazy. I don't need my cars to make 1,000 horsepower. I don't need my cars to be the fastest thing out there. I just like to do cool, unique, and some OEM stuff to them, and just enjoy them. Just like the Integra. I mean, the whole point of the Integra was more for like nostalgia's sake. I got it. I've always wanted to do this freaking wing. It's obviously not a real one. It's a replica, but it's the nicest replica I've seen. I actually prefer having this little plaque here versus all the other ones I've seen. And this isn't even real carbon fiber. This is just a dry carbon fiber wrap. And but yeah, I mean, like I said, this is all just, you see the interior. The interior is all OEM except for the S2000 seats, which is something that, you know, the kids used to do back in the day. And that's pretty much it. It's just all for nostalgia's sake. It's to keep it clean. It is on boost. It's fun. It's just stuff that I've always wanted to do when I was younger. And my happy ending sticker's coming off. I'm gonna have to order another one. But yeah, by the way, if you guys are interested in these banners, it's Happy Endings Official. You can look them up on Instagram. And this wasn't an actual sticker from them. This was actually what they sealed off the box with. I actually took it off and repurposed it. So, but I believe they sell them individually, so I might just go ahead and order another one. And yeah, but anyways, let's get on with the video so you guys can see our shenanigans at the junkyard, and you can see how we pull the 5-speed swap. And I actually prefer pulling the transmission out of those versus these Hondas. It's a much easier. You'll see what I'm talking about. And well, the shifter link get y'all knock out because I'm gonna be under there. So yeah. I'm pretty much the suspension. So if you're gonna unbutton all the stuff up here, just do that, and then go inside afterwards and just start stripping on the interior or whatever, like the clutch pedals and shit like that, or basically the brake and clutch pedal. Yeah. And yeah, I'll do, like, when we work on the tag, like I'll do the axles, the shift linkage, everything while I'm under there. Okay. So it doesn't look OEM. They were saying something about that plug being different on the forums. About they were saying that you got to take this plug off, like a manual one or whatever, and wire it in, or this one, I think it is this one for the harness. So like if you're using the auto harness, they say you got to cut this off
for the power to the starter,
I guess, but you could just do like a spade connector.
I don't remember doing that shit.
Well, yeah, because it's a solenoid, so it's probably the same shit. But I guess if you want to keep it OEM, they were saying to take that spade or whatever.
Clutch line, you just cut
the clutch line, yeah, because we're gonna do stainless, so it's no way. Yo, this alternator brand new too, dog. Got that advanced part number, that 13657A CarQuest. Oh man, what is up with these coils? This one's obviously aftermarket. What is this? There's so much grease on there. What's that? What's that say? Orion Motor Tech. Yeah, another thing I was looking at is the headers. You know what I might have to do for headers because I am not doing OBX.
Yeah, they don't fit worth a shit.
Exactly. Well, the ones I'm gonna get probably don't fit worth the shit anyways. But so I'm going to do. I was thinking about doing the Ultima headers, the ones that come on the 3.5, and then if I have to modify anything, it'll just be at the bottom.
Well, you almost have to modify everything because since the Ultimas have the subframe. In the front,
Yeah.
they'll basically run right into this mount. So you're gonna have to chop like right here, and then the same thing in the back.
All right. Well, at least I figured I would get those, so because
By that time,
they.
I have the welder.
Okay. Because I was thinking, at least they bolt on, and then any model, because they bolt on, they come apart at the flange.
Yeah. They bolt onto the head itself. Like.
No. What I'm saying is where the flange comes up. To the actual headers, they actually have like a 3-bolt flange, so you can separate them and modify that white pipe.
Yeah. And tell me why the fuck I was just looking for 13s, can't find them, and now I find all the 13s and I can't find the 14s.
But there's 2 14s right here. I told you, there's a 1/2 inch right there and a 3/8 right there.
There we go. There we go. There's that fucking Nissan. Actually, where's the Nissan? And I had a fucking 14 on my Nissan too. God damn it.
And this thing got Tokiko shocks with some type of lowering springs. They're German made. Vogtland. sounds like they come from the Norse gods themselves. So we're gonna be scooping those up and using those for the car. And it's an anniversary edition, so we got the perforated leather. The seats ain't worth the damn, but they are perforated leather. Gonna be taking the cluster also. You said the ECU was gone, right?
I'm just trying to make my bread and feed the fam. These fuck boys need to grow up like Peter Pan. Sometimes I get so
yeah, so the ECU might be over there. You gotta do a little bit of digging.
I already understand. They be plotting on my downfall and need another plan.
I'm gonna take these door panels too. But my car's got tan interior. And clutch pedal was modified. Apparently there was a Dorf drive in this.
Don't get caught up in the evil that'll have you down bad. Ain't no way around that. You gon' need a bounce back. Yeah. Posted up with the people I came up with. Charge a couple else in the game, but I still love it. I keep it low key in order to stay above it. I make it all out of nothing. Yeah. Through these ups and these downs, swear to God, ain't a dead thing change. Don't forget where that sauce came from, best remember my name. You take L's ain't once in a while, gotta charge to the game. You gotta charge it to the game. Yeah. Through these ups and these downs, swear to God, ain't a dead thing change. Don't forget where that sauce came from, best remember my name. You take L's ain't once in a while, gotta charge to the game. You gotta charge it to the game. Yeah.
Yeah, looks good. Yeah, it looks really good. It looks great. Yeah, it's got like a feel like stress, like March or whatever, but it doesn't look like it was replaced too long ago. It still has like part of the little sticker on the top here.
Alright, actually, I used to do it today. I used to go under a bench, press it off.
Okay, so let me go ahead and do that. Alright, so transfer's finally out. Got all the other components. I'm gonna have to take that ring gear that's down there and that mounting piece over there for the flywheel and all the bolts. Which, by the way, remember I was saying that we're missing a one of the pressure plate bolts, like it fell. So we're gonna have to get that. We're gonna have to find that because I'm pretty sure the thread is gonna be like something weird that we're not gonna be able to find at like Home Depot or something. So, and we're also taking the suspension. It's got Tokiko aluminas and that weird springs that I was saying. Whatever. And then, so what are you working on there? Taking out the master
and the brake pedal, or the clutch pedal, and the brake pedal.
Oh, they're both connected?
No, well, but you need both because the brake.
No, yeah, we do, but so that's just gonna take off the master cylinder and the actual clutch pedal.
Yeah, the clutch pedal.
Okay, cool.
So
and then, so I gotta come on this side. Ugh. I'm still working on this over here. I got the engine harness here. It's just gonna make it a lot easier to do the swap. Really, it's only just for 2 plugs. So, but whatever, it's here and it's all in one piece. So we taking it along with the ECU. And then also got the, there's like, I don't know if you can see it, but like down here somewhere. Yeah, like all the way like down there somewhere. Let me see. Yeah, right there. You can see the harness where it runs into the firewall. So I gotta basically pull that out with the ECU plug and everything through that grommet there. So,
oh yeah.
Oh man, it's gonna be a fun swap. Definitely something I've never done before, even though Shane's done it a million times. Yeah, oh, here's the link. Here's the shift linkage. So for everybody that likes B series, this might look really familiar. And Shane's got FOMO right now because apparently that's a really cool shifter.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Back in the days, it was something that everybody wanted. Nice firm shift feel. You know what? Now that I think about it, with that shifter, the Maximas, they shifted like how B series had that like notchy, firm, like. You know you in gear shifter.
Yeah, it's like clicky.
Yeah, without it, like with the OEM stuff, it felt like you were shifting through mud. So,
yeah. But yeah, that linkage actually feels amazing. Like if a B-Series linkage felt like that, we would all love our linkages. We wouldn't have those like sloppy things that we settle for. But yeah, I mean, you just don't find stuff from Max's, period. So this one's kind of like... running into this one and finding all the stuff that's into it, it's kind of like nostalgic and just kind of like it's taking us back to like the early 2000s and stuff when we used to actually see these cars like on the road, like racing and stuff like that. So, but well, while he's doing that, I'm gonna hop in here and start taking this interior apart. I'm gonna finish getting that harness out and start taking the rest of these pedals out. ECU's already out over there, so yeah, I'm gonna do that. And yeah, after that we'll see what time we got left and see what else we can get out of here. So hella pissed because this whole time we were here working on this thing, and one of the main reasons that I came here, and we've been working and dropping the transmission and all that this whole time, was the front bumper. And the front bumper's gone because it had the anniversary style lip on it. But also another thing you notice is while Shane was crawling all up under this thing, the subframe's not even connected to the body anymore on both sides, and the front subframe is literally being held by ratchet straps.
Yep.
So, yeah, glad we're not dead yet. And, yeah, so definitely an up north car. This thing's completely rusted, like, all the way through. What? The rain? Should be alright, bro. Just a little water. It's fine. It's just a little bit of water. And, yeah, so we're going to take these, because those are anniversary edition stuff. And then luckily the rear lip is here. It's got a twin lip exhaust, but it's OBX. Trash. And take these tail lights. Take that rear lip. Those little sill plates. And pretty much about it. We got most of everything out already.
Person too, guys. You know, look at this cool shit that he did. Telling the story that Tim is returning to life right now. That's right. You need to get away from us.
No, I'm getting away from us. What you doing?
Filming you gobbling that glizzy.
Oh, man.
How that glizzy treating you, dog? Oh, man. This man up here, show him how you do it, dog. Show him how Florida boys gobble glizzies. What? I didn't even get to see it. Yo, what the fuck?
Man, that whole glizzy gone.
My name. Ooh. I'm just trying to make my bread and feed the fam. These fuckboys need to grow up like Peter Pan. Sometimes I get so high, I never land. Ain't no need to overthink it, I already understand. They be plotting on my downfall and need another plan. But we welcome all that hating, I'm like, thank you, come again. Made a stack off the game and gave 100.